Hello, one and all. This is Luckless, Lovelocks. Welcome back to 999. And Snake's about to tell us about the Gansfeld experiment. I know we heard about it before, but I don't remember. We've heard about so many experiments. Is this the one? Is this the rat one? I don't remember. We're gonna find out. Junpei cleared his throat and tried to act calm.
Yeah, that was an experiment in telepathy, right? You place a pair of subjects in separate rooms. Then you show one a picture and ask the other what they see.
It's that one.
Interesting. I'm impressed. Yes, that is exactly correct.
So, why did you bring up the Gansfeld experiment?
It was used to screen subjects for the Nonary project. The hospital in a remote town was affiliated with Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Hongo used it to conduct experiments on visiting children in secret. Some of them, he found, had potential. He began to gather children that showed promise. Children that seemed as though they might be able to access the field.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought.
Of course, none of them volunteered.
Of course.
They were kidnapped.
That's what Seven was investigating. His face barely moved as he spoke.
There were 9 pairs of siblings taken, for 18 children total.
18 children total, 9 pairs of siblings. So, So that means it could have been Santa and his sister that were taken. Lotus's had 2 children that were kidnapped. You've got Snake and Clover. The question that I have, like the kind of outstanding question, is why Junpei and June? Seven was obviously investigating the kidnapped children. Kind of makes sense. Why Junpei and June? Those are the two that don't really have an established connection to these experiments yet that I can think of.
For reasons that were not fully understood at the time, each pair had 1 transmitter and 1 receiver. They were split perfectly. As such, the 18 children were split into 2 groups of 9. The children who were put into Group Q were the ones who excelled at transmitting.
Ah, okay.
They were transferred to the mock experiment building known as Building Q in the Nevada desert. The children who excelled at receiving were put in Group A. Group A was then placed on the former hospital ship Gigantic. From the experiments he had conducted so far, Hongo had learned the following. There are 2 things that can increase one's resonance with the fields. The first is Epiphany. The other is danger. Have you ever been faced with an especially difficult problem and thought about it very long and very hard until finally an answer suddenly appeared in your mind?
Only every couple of episodes we'll play in this game.
It may seem obvious to say so, but that is what is meant by Epiphany. The information obtained through that epiphany can be easily transmitted through the fields, where it can be easily interpreted. Adding danger to that equation allows for even easier field access. That's where Hongo came in. They set up a number of puzzles across the Gigantic. The participants had to solve each one before they could move to the next room.
I'm wondering if there is a parallel Nonary game being played while we're doing this also. And I wonder, is that related to the sequel of this game? Guess we'll find out.
Of course, he hadn't forgotten to include danger. He had detonated a bomb on the hull of the Gigantic. The children in Group A were forced to play the Nonary game as the ship sunk.
Just like us.
By forcing the children into a life-or-death situation, Hongo hoped to increase the likelihood of their tapping into the fields. The children from Group Q, on the other hand, were confined to the mock experiment building Building Q. Building Q duplicated the interior and puzzles of the gigantic exactly. Every detail was exactly the same. Hongo explained the situation to the children in Group Q. Solve the puzzles you find throughout the rooms. When you have the answers, transmit that information to the children in Group A. If you succeed, they will be able to solve the puzzles and escape.
And I guess they did.
But if you fail, then the gigantic will sink, and your brothers and sisters will drown.
Danger.
Those were his orders. Do you know why the astronauts of Apollo 13 were able to return to Earth safely? It was because NASA had access to a replica of the Apollo 13 capsule. All of the equipment, the instruments, everything. All of it identical. Everything was just like the real Apollo 13. NASA was able to replicate the situation the astronauts found themselves in. By putting themselves in the same situation, they attempted to solve the problems the astronauts were dealing with. Once they found solutions, they reported their findings to the men aboard the actual capsule. That was how they were able to return safely. It was the same with the gigantic in Building Q. The children from Group Q had to use the power of Epiphany to solve the puzzles they found and transmit what they learned through the fields. The children in Group A, however, they had to access the fields to learn how they might advance to the next stage. That is the simplest explanation I can manage.
Totally get it. Makes perfect sense. I mean, in a crazy sort of way. Snake sounded defeated. His half-hearted attempts at derision served only to show how much the story had affected him.
Huh.
Just as Junpei was about to speak.
Hey, Junpei, Snake! How much longer are you two gonna sit around on those bony asses?
A good point. Kind of just stopped to talk for a while.
Get down here already!
Seven's voice echoed up from below. Snake took a deep breath and blinked rapidly, as if just waking up from a long nap.
He's right. Let's go, shall we? We don't have much time. We need to get out of here, and soon.
Snake headed for the stairs, but Junpei put out an arm to stop him.
Hold it. There's one more thing I want to ask you. Are you sure that there were 18 kids?
Why?
Well, I thought it was only 16.
Oh, yes. That was what they said on the news, wasn't it?
Okay, this is one thing that I'm a bit confused by, because yeah, I remember 16 came back, but that's because I just assumed 2 died. But only 1 has been confirmed to have died.
Yes, I have no doubt that 18 children were abducted and used in Hongo's experiment. After all, you couldn't exactly play a nonary game with any less, could you?
Well, yeah, but are you saying that the news got it wrong?
Yes, I am. There were 2 more children. However, they had no relatives that I'm aware of. I imagine no one filed a police report when they went missing.
Ah, okay.
They were brother and sister, like Clover and I. The brother's name was Aoi. The sister's name was... Her name was...
Come on, Snake! Snake couldn't seem to bring himself to continue. Is it June? Is it June? That wasn't the name of Lotus's kids, right? Like I don't remember their names. So bad with names. Looked as if Snake couldn't bring himself to continue. It looked as if what he was about to say brought him great pain.
Her name was Akane.
No! Good. I meant to say Kane. That's it. That's what we've been missing. That's what we've been missing.
That was the girl who died.
Oh. What does that mean? I mean, Akane's having that problem. Maybe she didn't actually die. Maybe it seemed like she died. She's suffering from some illness. Fuck! Junpei felt as if he had been punched in the stomach. His vision went blurry and his head felt light.
Akane Kurashiki died 9 years ago? Then, who is June?
She's pretending to be Kane?
No. That's impossible.
I don't know what this means. Oh god. Oh my god, this game. It's driving me crazy.
It can't be true.
Akane isn't that uncommon of a name.
That's true too.
If Snake had known her last name, that's a different matter entirely.
So they share a name. A lot of other people do too. It doesn't mean anything. It was someone else.
Of course it was. It has to be.
Or is she like supposed to be like a ghost? Junpei shook his head hard and pulled himself back to reality. This is exactly like, it's like mystery shows where they give you one answer and it just raises like 2 more questions you hadn't even thought of before.
Is something wrong, Junpei? Your breathing sounds strange.
What do you think, Snake? Then Snake had noticed. Junpei cleared his throat and tried to act calm.
Oh, no, it's nothing. I'm fine. Let's get back down there, all right?
Snake's not even going to comment? Snake raised an eyebrow, but said nothing. He headed down the stairs, Junpei bringing up the rear. Do they know her name, right? I can't remember if we mentioned her name. Huh. Maybe we didn't. Maybe they don't know what her real name is.
I couldn't do it. Why didn't I ask? What's her last name? I just couldn't get the words to come out.
With every step he took, the cold, hard sound of feet against metal dug at his heart. Good God. We still have to get out of here. Okay, do I just grab the 5th book? Sheldrake, this is it. This is what the shadow picture was pointing to. But didn't it say 5 at the end of the shadow picture? Yes, I think we need to find the 5th volume. Well, would you look at that? There's a big red button behind this book. Okay. Sorry, but this bugs me a little bit. We could have simply moved all the books to see this. We didn't actually have to solve the puzzle, right? Like, this puzzle would have made more sense if they gave you a code that you'd use to unlock something that had the button in it. But actually, if it was that glass thing, we could just break it anyways. And that's another valid point. We could have simply broken the glass to take that bulb. But I guess, oh, it was foggy or something inside, but yeah. But this puzzle's a bit stupid, in my opinion. Guess we should press this button. Whoa! What was that sound? It sounded like something really big was moving. It came from the top floor. All right, let's go check it out. I'm getting a sneaking suspicion we're gonna be maybe introduced to Alice now. Or soon. Okay, those are Roman numerals. It's 13. And that's 14, 10, and 13. Or 13141013. There's a keyboard in front of the numbers. And there are 4 Roman numerals on the wall. It's got to be a hint of some sort. Those are all Roman numerals. Do you think we just need to put in the numbers from the wall on the keyboard? No, you can't. The keyboard doesn't have any number keys. Can't type in stuff like 3 or 4. Well, I seem to remember something about hex. So, I'm assuming that we need to change numbers into the letters. Then that means... was 10A? And then, that would be B, 12C, 13 is D. And then 15 is F. So that's D-E-A-D, dead. Awesome. That's exciting. Well, I bet you gotta type something on that keyboard. Yeah, we can only enter letters. And it looks like you can only enter 4 letters. Let's see how it works. I guess you need to hit enter once you type in the letters. And you can erase what you typed with clear. Gotcha. Just like every other puzzle. Okay, I get the basic operations. Let's give it a shot. That's where the space bar would be, but... Okay. That's it. Nice! But I wouldn't be too excited to just type dead into the keyboard. Yeah, you did it, Junpei! It's unlocked now. I know you guys were sending me the answer. Right? Through the YouTube Bogenic field. Good job, Junpei. Whoa there, don't get too excited. The password was dead. Yeah, see, 7, me and 7. Like, just making me think whatever's waiting for us isn't good. Well, also, dead actually doesn't have that negative a connotation in this game because we would, after we go through a door, after activating the red, we'd have to find a dead to save our lives, so it's not that bad. So what? Geez, you're such an old lady. You can't be worrying about stuff like that. I mean, come on. We got it to unlock, didn't we? Let's go. Hurry up. All right. Let's get this thing open. I wonder if... Does it matter which door we go through? The door opened. And Junpei and the others leapt through it.
All right, this is the next.
Just as Seven was about to finish his sentence, their attention was drawn to... Is this it? The clang of metal on metal ringing out behind them.
Oh, the door!
Great. They spun around. The door they'd just come through had slammed shut.
Did that just close on its own?
Don't tell me we can't go back.
I don't know. Let's see.
Junpei grabbed hold of it with both hands and pulled with all of his strength.
Damn it. It looks like it locks automatically.
Is there any other way out?
Well,
Whoa.
There's another door over on the right. There's a card reader next to it.
This must have been where, and I wrote down the names. Kubota? He's the one that developed the technology for the Nonary project. Maybe this is where he was doing his work. I see like kind of like the components for the reds and the deads.
It's got a red light on it, though, so I'm pretty sure it's locked, too.
But there is a card reader, right?
Another puzzle.
Yeah.
Then perhaps if we find a key card, we could open the door and leave?
Well, yeah, that might work, but...
Hey, wait a minute. Are you saying we're gonna have to search through this room for one little card?
Oh, man.
They took a second look at the room they'd found themselves in. It was filled with piles upon piles of all manner of things. The only word that could describe it was chaotic. It was like a tornado had passed through, followed by a giant who had picked up and shaken the entire room a few times. It's not that bad.
Looks that way.
Junpei's heart fell.
No way.
For real?
Clover and Seven looked as though they were about to cry.
Well, we can sit down and wait to die, if that's what you prefer. I rather doubt that, however, so it would be wise to start looking. We haven't much time. Let's find that key card. Oh, and the Neptune key as well. We won't be able to get through the hallway without it. All right then, let's begin.
Again, another escape. Study. All right, let's start from the right here. Hey, Junpei, isn't this a nautical table? Yeah, I feel like I've seen this before. Is that, we're in the, that, like the steering room, engine control room or whatever? I think that's where we saw, or it was like, the room before that had a chart like that. How do I access the file again? The chart room, there we go. Study nautical table. Nautical table from the study was found on the drafting table. The faded line on the right edge must be connected to the line on the left edge. Okay. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this. It's like it looks different. Yeah, it's like a more zoomed out view. There are some similarities though. I think this point's common to both. I think it follows a similar path. Yeah. In fact, I think it's exactly the same path until it gets to here. And it has this one point added. Okay. Nothing else here. Drafting table. Looks like it's been used quite a bit. Ruler that's attached to the drafting table. A light that's attached to the drafting table. It's got this little metal arm that holds it up. There are piles of crap everywhere. Man, this place is a mess. It's so messy, I don't know where to start. Some of this crap looks familiar. I think a lot of these are parts of the puzzles we solved in the other rooms. Yes. If that's true, then this room could be Zero's laboratory. Perhaps Zero would shut himself in this room to devise the machines and puzzles he'd need to see his plan come to fruition. Nothing useful here. Oh, I see. There are some old computer monitors on this desk. You don't see CRT monitors that much anymore. Look, Junpei, the rust on here looks like Elvis's face. Yeah. How exciting. I think these fans are for ventilation. They're probably here to circulate air. Pipe, great. I can see some sort of big machine on the other side of all this crap. Yeah, let's check that out. Oh, we went forward. Speaking of big machines, the screen is huge. Wonder why it's blue. Maybe if I touch it. Oh. There's something on the screen now. Oh, we've seen something similar to this before. Shoot. What's this? There are 15 cells here with numbers and letters in them. Let me see that. Ah, I see. So whenever you touch a cell, the ones next to it turn on or off. You just gotta use that to make the all cells on the right and the bottom green. Oh, okay. Hey, Junpei, I found this piece of paper under that thing. You wanna take a look at it? Do you think this might have something to do with the puzzle? It's a piece of paper Clover gave me. There are a bunch of numbers and letters connected by equal signs on it. Just like she said, this is probably related to the puzzle on the screen somehow. Thanks, Clover. This really helps. Alright, let's go back and try again. Anyway, it looks like I just need to make all the cells all green. Oh. Okay, so D is 13, A is 10. So we just need to make these numbers add up to A. Can't disable those. So 10 we have. There we go. L is 21. Oh, every time I select something, it turns on and the two around them switch. Let's see. Okay! Well, let me mess around with this, and if it's gonna take too long, I'll, mess around with it a bit off camera. This one definitely needs to be on. No. What is this? I think we need all these on. Okay. Oh, nice! I didn't even think about it. I mean, I thought about it a bit, but that was more like just kind of messing around with them. All right, you did it, Junpei. Not bad. You guys once again sent me the answer, I'm sure. You're so smart. Yeah, I am. You seem to have done an excellent job and solved the puzzle. Just what I would have expected of you, Junpei. Hey, come on, you're embarrassing me. Okay, now I'm thinking maybe there's gonna be a reveal that we were part of the experiment. Before, and we don't remember. The way that Snake is talking now, particularly, he's like, he expects us to be able to solve these things. Because maybe we've done it before. Whoa, don't get cocky, kid. We don't got time for that. Look at this. Check out the right edge of the control panel. The lid slid open and something came out. The cross emblem. Middle plate shaped like a shield. There's a cross engraved on it. Okay, we're going to continue this on the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. This is Luckless Lovelocks setting off for now, and I love you all.